meeting and share my screen. Okay, yan. Mga ka-HR, sana medyo malinaw ako dyan dahil wala ako ngayon sa Cavite. Nasa Marikina City po ako ngayon, o di ba? Talaga namang medyo alive na alive ang inyong founder at host for today. Anyway po, para medyo mag-umpisa na tayo, our general reminders during the HRE knowledge, yun po, open na tayo. We would like to request na video on, audio mute, para po syempre hindi po ma-distract ang ating speaker mentor for his presentation. At syempre kailangan mas marami tayong matutunan this afternoon. All questions must be placed in the chat box or the Facebook live post. Naka-live po tayo ngayon because we have free HRE knowledge. We would like to request your full attention and cooperation in order to fully maximize our learning. This webinar is free. Ulitin po natin. Free po ang webinar and we provide e-certificate after paying minimal fee of 50 pesos per webinar per attendee. We do not entertain e-certificate via email nor FB Messenger. Please fill up the attendance and feedback form posted in FB Live and in chat box. Ano nga ba ang HR Calabarzon para sa mga kasamahan natin dyan na bago lang po sa HRE knowledge? Ang HR Calabarzon po ngayon, we are very much happy to announce that we are registered, SEC registered and BIR registered. Kaya po makakapag-issue tayo ng OR, syempre para sa lahat. Ang HR Calabarzon provides virtual and face-to-face learning to HR practitioner and enthusiasts in Calabarzon, Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, and Quezon. And of course, hindi lang tayo pang Calabarzon, may NCR na rin tayo. May NCR tayo, may mga kasamahan tayo sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, from Kuwait, from Japan, from Malaysia, and Vietnam. O diba? At talaga namang nag-iba na ang dating ng HR Calabarzon dahil nakakarating na tayo sa ibang bansa. Excuse me. So paano nga ba ako makakakuha ng certificate? Ngayon po hindi ko pa magagaranti pero liligawan natin ang ating mentor speaker na kung maaari ay makakuha tayo lahat ng paid ay makakuha ng presentation ng ating materials to this afternoon. E-certificate will be sent to you after 7 working days. Not included po ang Saturday, Sunday, and holiday. At syempre, pagkatapos po nating i-validate ang inyong minimal fee na 50 pesos per webinar per attendee through GCash. And of course, we are requesting yung Google Form attendance na please ensure your complete information such as first name, middle initial, last name, at syempre ang inyong email address para po hindi nagba-bounce back ang inyong e-certificate. Also, the reference number and the proof of payment. Note, all the links are available through comment section of FB Live and Zoom chat box. Payment is until Wednesday next week. And we are not accepting e-certificate requests via email or messenger for auditing purpose. Why do we have to pay for the minimal fee of 50 pesos? The minimal fee is to sustain our expenses for our monthly subscription for the Zoom postpaid account para mas makapag-provide pa tayo ng free HRE knowledge every week. Ang ating GCash payment or ating GCash number, please screenshot 0919-009-6339. And of course, iniimbitahan po namin ang lahat na meron po tayong CPHR. Actually, ngayon yung May 15 to 17, I am not so sure. Hindi ko lang nabago yung ating ads. I hope maka-attend po tayo dyan dahil lahat po ng HR Calabarzon member will get an industry partner discount of 10% kapag nag-attend po kayo ng CPHR OLC Assembly. And of course, HR Calabarzon would like to thank Wellness, Health, and Total Rewards Insurance Consultancy. They provide HMO medical insurance, group life insurance, personal accident insurance, executive checkup, retirement plan, clinic management, burial services, and non-life services. And of course, marami silang mga affiliated o mga kasamahan, mga partners. They have Avega, Intellicare, Medicard, HMI, MaxiCare, Etika, Eastwest, CareHealth Plus, Pioneer, PhilCare, CocoLife, and Value Care. Para naman po sa kanilang contact number kung sakali gusto nyo silang makausap for quotation, request, product presentation, and inquiries, please do contact Sir Ron Benedict Dante, Head Client Management, through their cell phone number 0919-009-0236. Also, the CEO, Sir Dion Jeffrey Flores, mobile number 0968-853-5003, or Sir Raymond Astria, their Employee Benefits Consultant, 0917-173-0111. And of course, wag na natin masyadong patagalin. This afternoon, mga ka-HR, ay matututunan natin paano nga ba maging successful in learning and development. Honestly, guys, very excited ako dito because we do provide HRE knowledge and HR business partner learning series. So paano ko pa ba mas mai-enhance ang aking knowledge pagdating sa learning and development? So guys, pakilala ko na sa inyong ating speaker at talaga namang medyo pinag-uusapan siya lately sa social media bukod sa isa siya sa top 100 o top 12 influential women in LinkedIn for 2021. Kasama rin siya sa top 100 for almost 4 years. Diba? Ang alam ko ngayong 2022 kasama rin siya sa top 100. And of course, Ma'am Bonnie is the founder, CEO of Leading with Success. Pangalan pa lang ng company, talagang alam natin na marami tayong matututunan from her. She's a global keynote speaker, business strategy consultant, serial entrepreneur and personal development coach. So kailangan ko pa lang magpa-coach kay Ma'am Bonnie para mas mag-enhance ang ating effort para magkaroon ng maraming HRE knowledge. She's also the co-founder of Easy Fulfill, a global e-commerce startup. So guys, without any more sinasabi pa, please do assist me in welcoming our speaker and mentor for today, Ma'am Bonnie Factor. Hi, Ma'am Bonnie!
Hi, Neddy. Taas na energy ah. Hi,
Yes,
everyone.
syempre, Ma'am. Sobra energy ko ngayon.
Taas. Hi, everyone who joined us in our Zoom meeting and everyone who's watching sa live stream. Thank you, Neddy. And do you guys want to begin already? And so I am going to flash. I'm just going to flash one slide, and that is the basis of my talk for today. All right. So I'll share it with you. Here we go. And okay, so I'd like to know in the chat box, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mirna from Bulacan. Good afternoon, Judy from Nueva Vizcaya. Okay, I'd like to know what in learning and development interests you guys. All right, so for 2 minutes, I'll give you guys 2 minutes to be able to chat in the chat box. What in learning and development are you interested about?
Okay, let's see. Let's check.
Okay, so Bernard says TNA. All right. Evaluation says Melelia. Okay. Needs analysis, Charmaine said that. TNA. Okay. So a lot of you said training needs analysis, highly interesting. And has any one of you had a chance to do this in your companies or anywhere else where you can practice? Yes, Adrian said yes. And what was the experience with TNA? Were you able to execute a program that was that you have identified from the training needs analysis? What was the challenge? In TNA? Was there a challenge? Is it the cost? Is it because the next one is the design, development, implementation, and evaluation. So if you guys have been able to do TNA, what was your next challenge or the biggest? Very hard to create a survey form. Okay, challenge in finding training course availability and budget. Yeah. The budget is the challenge for a lot of learning and development leaders and train the trainers. Budget is almost always an issue for most companies. I agree. And it starts and ends there, no, the budget. First time in charge in handling training. Congratulations, Myrna. I'm sure you're excited. Are you excited? And how has this feel for you? Training and development has been something that I have been interested in because I love learning. I love talking. I love learning. And then management commitment to learning. Yes, Jacob, I agree. I agree. Management commitment to learning actually means that we need to manage our stakeholders. We need to be able to know what is it, what's in it for them. So when we execute training programs, right? And when you create a training calendar for the entire year, you need to be able to know your stakeholders and what's in it for them. Because the budget, the commitment to all the training programs, uh, these all falls on your stakeholders, not just you. Because if you're going to push this and push this and push this, and then you get tired of pushing all of the training programs and you get no support, then you need to create another strategy. You need to know how you can make your stakeholders agree to the training programs that you will create for the entire year. And with that, let us begin with our framework that we are going to talk about this hour. I have been given a topic which is how to be successful in learning and development. It's a very broad topic. I have to say that if we are going to talk about success in learning and development, then that means we are going to create a series of train the trainers, right? A series of train the trainers, and at Leading with Success, this is one of the things that we aim to do for this year, a series of train the trainers. And the series of train the trainers, we aim to do this for different kinds of programs and different kinds of mentors and coaches. So with this framework, I'll have to say, if I'm going to have only 1 hour, and that's what we have right now, we only have 1 hour. I thought about it. I've thought about it, and I said that if you are going to capture in one framework or one model what you are going to follow as a beginner for learning and development, this is the framework that we can talk about and we can follow step by step. And it's ADDIE. ADDIE is analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. Okay. So like what you have all said, you have begun with training needs analysis. And when we say training needs analysis, it's not just survey. I know we have survey forms. You can also do FGDs. It's a combination of survey forms and FGDs. And you can also do one-on-ones, especially with your senior leadership team, your stakeholders, the stakeholders who are going to decide for your budget. You also need to know during the analysis phase, who is your stakeholder? Who will approve the budget? You need to know that. Who is the decision maker? Who is the decision maker for the budget? This is something that needs to be clear from the very beginning. Focus group discussions for some people here who don't know what it means. Okay, that's right. FGD is focus group discussion. Okay. And so during analysis time, I know that we want to analyze the needs, the training needs of everyone, from leaders down to all of the team members that we have in the company. And that captures generally some sort of a ranking of a priority that we can prioritize. We can check in the survey which topics are the most needed and why they are the most needed. The focus group discussion can justify the qualitative sampling survey of a training needs analysis. And your stakeholder one-on-ones, especially the person, the decision maker in your company who will approve the budget is the most important yes of all. And that stakeholder who you need to talk to one-on-one, you need to understand their motivation when it comes to learning and development. You need to analyze and you need to be able to know what motivates them for you to make them say yes to a training budget. Because other stakeholders look at training and development as a cost. When we say it's a cost, then that means that if I am the owner of the company, I would need justification why my learning and development team wants me to spend this much money on training. And if you need justification on why you need to spend that much money on training, this is the reason why a lot of training programs are sales and marketing. Because sales and marketing, they have a direct cost or investment correlation with the output. What about the other team members of the company that are not in sales and marketing, right? How can they be prioritized? And so this is a part of your analysis program. This is a part of your analysis phase. This is a part of your analysis part. All of this, when you began to analyze who are the stakeholders, what's the budget that I need? Do I need 5 million, 6 million, 20 million? Because if I'm going to include team building, how is that? If you're going to organize a team building, where are you going? If you're going to organize a summer outing, because now we're out of the pandemic and we want them to report to the office already, and part of this is the camaraderie. And if we're going to charge the summer outing under learning and development, how much would be your budget? So these things you need to consider this. Are these team building, summer outing, are they included in learning and development, or are they included in compensation and benefits, or rewards and recognition, or employee engagement, or any other cost centers? Cost centers, right? So all of these are part of the analysis. In the analysis part, you need to be able to analyze all of these moving parts. Because if you're going to present and design a presentation for your entire training program for the year, you need to be able to justify why. And the justification comes with, this is an investment. And this investment has a direct effect and direct advantage benefits for all our employees. All, or who do you identify that will directly benefit from your training programs for the year? That will elevate the performance of your company in such a way that productivity and growth will follow. Productivity and growth. Efficiency as well. So what's the design of your training program presentation or training calendar for the year, wherein you cover your stakeholders and you cover the employees, the team members, the programs, and how are you going to share it in such a way that when you communicate this, it's a change management. Because believe it or not, learning and development is really more of a change management process than just executing training programs and then that's that. We need to be able to transform. Transformation is the end goal. And the transformation comes with the objective. What's the objective for the calendar program? And usually, these are divided into, for example, 4 aspects. The technical or functional training, the soft skills. The soft skills, they can be divided into culture, which means your company values, any other culture that you want to imbibe with the company. leadership programs, which for me are the most expensive ones. The most expensive ones, why? Because the leaders drive the results. When you have a great leadership program, it's easy to be able to identify and create a stakeholder co-creation with you. That's also something that's very important. When you design training programs, how are you going to create co-creation in such a way that you get the yes of other people or other stakeholders in the company, and not just you pushing all these programs and encouraging people? You need to have allies. Who are your allies? Who are your co-creators? And lastly, the professional development. The professional development, these are soft skills, for example, communication skills, which are always needed in our corporate environment. So that's the design. We can now move into development. Let's say you've been approved. The training program for the year has been approved. You have a Gantt chart. Okay, you created a Gantt chart. And you said, in this Gantt chart, these are a sample of our training calendar for the year. And I have presented all these to you. This is to your decision maker who will approve your budget. Okay, development. How are you going to develop each program? And now you're going to trim it down into months and especially weeks. And in this area, you will now be able to tackle and divide time management for the entire year. So for each training program, how many can you develop? How many are the target? In each month, who are the target employees, etc. So the development of the training program, bringing your learning experience to life. Now that we're in hybrid mode, are you going to do this hybrid e-learning, virtual, live, or face-to-face? Is your company using the training program or encouraging everyone to come back to the office? And you can utilize the training program as a face-to-face event and as a camaraderie, as a team building event, a learning event altogether, something that we all missed during the pandemic. And so you need to take that into consideration in the development. Also in the development, worksheets, because people remember not just in listening, and so worksheets, questions for each training program that you have. How many hours? During the pandemic, pre-pandemic days, we are used to training programs that are 1 to 3 days, face-to-face, full day. During the pandemic, it was cut down. The average normal training program, virtual, live, during the pandemic is half day. And then we're used to this online format already, online live. And so your worksheets also revolve around these. Okay. And the development of the worksheet, you need to also take that into consideration for your Gantt chart. Okay. Anyone has experience with a Gantt chart, has seen it, has used it, has created a Gantt chart already? Yes, no, seen one. Used? No, not yet. Okay. So this is easy. All you need to do is Google Gantt chart. I'm going to of Gantt chart. Here you go. Gantt chart is used for project management. And when you are able to Google a Gantt chart, there are sheets. Smart Sheets, Google Sheets, yes. Okay, so you've used Gantt charts. And project management is one of the facets of learning development. Because an entire training program, especially if it's a series, it's actually a project that you need to manage, especially with stakeholders and change management, etc. Agree. Gantt chart for project timelines. Thank you, Jan. Okay, so we're now in develop, right? We're now in develop. Now we do implementation. So once you have analyzed the need be, the training calendar for the entire year, the objectives, very important because the objectives is what you're going to hit. How do you know if you're successful in a training program? Well, have you hit the objectives? And also, are you writing down correct objectives, right? Do for objectives, what you can, Kirkpatrick is the model. Kirkpatrick model is the objectives. And there's also another one. Let me remember that for all of you some other time. There's an objective writing that is very important and something that if you want to go deep into Bloom taxonomy, thank you. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. So now we have analysis, design, development, and you're ready now to implement. In implementation, you're now the model, the role, the hat that you are now going to use is the events organizer. Aha, okay. Events organizer. So usually, when I entered learning and development, I said, oh, I would love to be here because my unique talent, which my unique to me is talking. You know, I can talk even with less preparation, etc. for topics that I already know about. But diving deep into learning development, it's more than just talking. It's this framework, it's Kirkpatrick, it's Bloom taxonomy, it's Gantt charts, it's project management, it's stakeholders. Stakeholders are very important because in human resources, and you all know this, everyone has a stakeholder in the company. Everyone. Even if you're the owner of a company, you still have stakeholders. And that's why it's very important to know who they are. When they say they hate politics, what they're saying is they hate dealing with stakeholders because politics and stakeholders, they are one. You need to be able to understand office politics through the measurement or when you analyze and when you need to be able to know who are my stakeholders, why are they important, who are my allies in this company, so that I can push for projects that I want to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are now in implementation, and for implementation, you are now the events organizer. As the events organizer, you can create, if it's live, a training plan, a step-by-step, what's gonna happen per hour, per minute, who is gonna do it, who's gonna talk, and who are your co-creators, right? Your stakeholders in the training program. And you distribute your learning and product to your audience, whatever the topic would be. All right. And lastly, of course, to close the program or the gap, we now evaluate. We now evaluate the entire training program. And when we say we evaluate the training program, how do you do that? Has anyone evaluated the training program here before? Can I see in the chat box? How have you done it? How did you do it? Has anyone? Google survey form. Okay. And yes, okay. Post-training survey, yes. And the questions that you asked during post-training survey, this now needs to be able to match a pre-training survey, because otherwise, how are you going to measure that the training program has been effective, right? And also, there needs Likert scale. Thank you. And there also needs to be an expectation of they need, and this is something that I ascribe to. I don't see a lot of learning and development people doing this. For me, to be able for the learning and development programs, learning especially, to stick, it has to be done consistently, daily for 18 months. There has to be some sort of commitment that when they enter into a training program, what they're going to learn from the training program is something that they can use 2 minutes on a daily basis for 18 months. Why 18 months? Okay. So this is the number of days for transformation that we are talking about. We say 21 days is for habit forming. 90 days is for automaticity. All right, 90 days, that's 3 months. Okay. And 18 months is a complete transformation of behavior, which means that if you're doing something 2 minutes, even just for 2 minutes on a daily basis, and this is the 18 months is based on Ray Dalio. He's my favorite billionaire, and he has analyzed behaviors for his company. And what he has found in his data is that 18 months is a complete change of behavior. If he wants to give someone a chance, it's 18 months in his company. If the person, so they have found out that if the person is a culture fit, within 18 months, either the person will step up and be able to culture fit, that person will embrace the culture, have fun, and in such a way, embrace the struggle, because all of us do struggle at work. If you're not struggling, then that's not true. All of us are struggling, right? All of us are having a hard time sometimes, not all the time, I hope. Because if it's all the time or majority of the time, then maybe it's no longer good for you. Okay, so 18 months. 18 months is his threshold. Now, what he discovered is that by 18 months, they either fit into the culture, they stay afterwards for so many years, or they actually leave before 18 months. They leave, or they're terminated for performance challenges, etc. It doesn't mean that the person is not good. It doesn't mean that the company or the person failed. It's just maybe not a fit. Okay. So in this world, all of us are looking for where do we fit really? And that's why I love learning and development, because what your curiosity is and what your play is, that's actually where you fit. I am curious about transforming behaviors, mainly because I want to do it for myself. I am personal development. I love personal development. I love developing myself and growing myself on a daily basis. I love challenging myself to create new habits for myself and assessing who I am really, being truthful to myself, and how do I better myself on a daily basis. And so because of that curiosity, and because my play is this one, my play is talk, that combined places me in this environment, in this play environment, which is learning and development. It's play for me because I get to enjoy what I'm learning, what I'm executing, and at the same time be able to practice my curiosity. What else is there out there? I love learning. And so if I love learning, what are the topics that I want to teach? Because I also learn that topic. Okay, so with Abby, analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. I'm going to give you like 2 minutes to share with me what do you want us to talk about more with this framework. Or if you have any questions. We're nearing the 15 minutes anyway, the last 15 minutes of our talk for today. Is it analysis? Is it design? Is it development? Is it implementation, or is it evaluation? What else from these 5 do you want to know more? 2 minutes. Because we've started with analysis and most of you have done training needs analysis. Design, do you have questions there? Development, and when we say development, bringing your learning experience to life by building your end product. And what is your end product? What are the objectives? What's the behavior transformation? So learning and development is not just, this is the topic, I'm going to give it to you, goodbye. That's not the learning and development I prescribe to. I really believe in transformation. And when I say transformation, it takes a long time. Human beings are not designed to absorb learning in one snap. It's really an accumulated daily changes, daily small changes. Okay, so we talked about Ray Dalio for his 18 months. And this is accompanied by Atomic Habits by James Clear. Please talk about how to specifically practical tips measure the impact of training in employees' performance. And this is the reason why I say transformation is really important. When we say, Melalia said, design, because I have an aging workforce and I may not have time to train the next in line. Okay, designing training module and how do we measure ROI after training? So, similar to Adrian and John, we kind of have a similar question, which is measuring the impact and the ROI after training. And this is why we say atomic habits is very important. What are the daily things that they can commit to after the learning program that you have delivered? 2 minutes, even just a 2-minute practice daily for 18 months. So that the transformation will stick. A very solid example of this would be if they are in sales. This is mostly influence. Sales is mostly influence, right? Listening skills. What else? Influence and listening, rapport for sales skill. Sales skills. These are the important sales skills. How will they practice this? After the learning and program has been delivered, how will they practice this in the 2 minutes that they will have daily? Because the measurement is not just the training program when you're implementing it. The measurement and the impact and the ROI is the commitment. After they have learned through you, how committed are they to be able to practice this? Because otherwise, it's just going to be a cost. It's going to be an annual cost that you are going to deliver year after year after year. And then they will say, I already attended this training. Yes, and that's true. At the same time, have you practiced it? Have you practiced it? So the challenge is after the learning program, how do you make them practice it? 2 minutes daily for 18 months. That's something that is very new for me because not a lot of learning development training vendors say this. Because of course, it's going to be very hard. How are you going to tell someone or a company or a client, hey, I want to go back to you after 18 months and I want to ask, are they committed? Are they even interested, remotely curious to learn more? Because if they did not, then they're not really curious. We are just pushing topics to them that they are not interested in. So the motivation is very important. The motivation to transform. So the goal is, if you want an ROI, if you want to measure the impact of the training, it's 18 months, 2 minutes daily for behavioral transformation consistently for 18 months. And you need to be able to make them commit to it. And the explanation is 21 days is a habit, 90 days is automaticity, 18 months is complete transformation. And this is not forcing them to do this. You are just explaining this to them. And maybe you can, during a post-training survey, ask them if ever, what will be to the extent of your action, because the learning absorption formula is learn, do. Okay, this is very important, and this is something that we all need to be able to learn and know. The learning absorption formula is learn, do. If they just attended a training program and they are not executing what they've learned, they are not doing it on a day-to-day basis, they have forgotten already about it the next day. If there's no commitment to learn more, to do what they have learned. And so when it comes to impact and ROI, you can share these timelines to your stakeholders. 21 days for a habit, 90 days for automaticity, 18 months for a complete behavior transformation. That is really how long a human being can change. Most of us already have a personality that is embedded with us. And that personality, if the person isn't willing to change, we actually practice repetition compulsion. Repetition compulsion is, we're human beings. We have habits. And we are defined. And when I say we, that's also all of our team members in the company. Repetition compulsion. All of us have this. On a daily basis, our habits make us, form us. So it's very easy to understand a person based on what they do on a daily basis. Very easy, very easy. If you know the patterns of someone, very easy to assess if they are productive or not. Very easy also to assess how they decide, how they think, what are their mental models of the world. Okay, so it's learn, do. Learn, do. And so the transformation that we aim, or at least I aim for my clients, or at least for everyone that I want to interact with, if they want it, it's that human behavior transformation. Because if you're not aiming for human behavior transformation in a span of 18 months, then you're just going for a certificate, just proof that you attended something. And for me, that's not learning. For me, learning is executing something, being able to know and execute it, not having anything, it's automatic already. It's a behavior, it's a habit. There you go. That's my answer for you, Jan and Adrian. I hope, although that's a bit general and broad, I'm able to at least give you my idea of what is the impact, or what is the ROI. 21 days, 90 days, 9. Thank you. Welcome, Jan. And for Melelia says design. And she said she has an aging workforce and I may not have time to train the next in line. And for that, welcome, Adrian. Thank you, very helpful. Welcome, Adrian. So Melelia, you need to. So now that you are aware, there must be a change of behavior. Yes, agree. Transformation, that's the complete ROI, the change in behavior. So Melelia, now that you are aware that this is a very good statement that you have an aging workforce and you may not have to train the next in line. This means that you are aware. Number one, it's very good that you are accepting and recognizing that, number one, you have an aging workforce, and number two, that you may not have the time to train the next in line. next after awareness is doing something about it. Now that you know that you may not have the time, you now need to check why do you think you don't have the time, and if this is something that is urgent and important for you, how do you squeeze this in? Right? How do you squeeze this in? Because for the design, before you go for the design, you need to analyze first. And the time is a part of the analysis, right? So Adi. So now, Melalyn, you need to analyze first. What time do I have? Which time? Who are the stakeholders that can help me if I don't have the time? So now that you are aware, that's very good. Thanks for those numbers. Yes, 18 months, 21 days for habit forming, 90 days for automaticity, and then 18 months for a complete change of behavior. That means it's already your identity. I'm going to give you an example of that before I turn this over to Neddy back. Okay. During the pandemic in 2020, when we entered lockdown, I had nothing to do at home. And so I started doing my ab workouts daily. It has become a habit for 21 days that after 90 days, it has become automatic. My body was actually looking for it, and my body is actually thinking, well, I haven't done my ab workout today. There's something missing. In 18 months, my body has completely transformed. And sometimes I do it once a week, etc., but I no longer forget about it. It has become an identity. I am someone who does ab workout. It has become an identity. Okay, Burns has a question. Bernal says, what are the usual questions need to ask during, what is a dollar sign? Is that money? Is that cash? Are you guys going to give me money? Okay, but before I answer that, Bernal, we have 6 minutes left, and I'm now going to turn over the hosting privilege and the talk to Neddy, and we'll close down our ADDI framework. Thank you, everyone. Neddy.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, nasa question and answer na tayo. And since Ma'am Berna, actually, this is Dr. Rodora.
Okay.
Si Dr. Rodora is one of our very, ano bang kaya kong tawagin? One
Doc.
of the best, or one of the always present din, ma'am, na nakakatuwa, nakasama natin siya. She's really a doctor, guys.
She's a learner.
Calabarzon. At talaga naman pong uma-attend siya para mas matutunan, mas marami pa siya matutunan with HR. And the question is, what are the usual questions need to ask during, siguro, I think, Ma'am Berna, Ma'am Rodora, this is about money.
Money. So what about money?
Oh, no, not money daw po.
Focus group discussion depends on the objective that you want to have. So the training needs analysis also needs to dependent on the topic that you're going to ask, right? Usually it's a multiple choices for training needs analysis survey, so that it's easy for your teammates, team members, anyone to answer the survey, because we all know that if it's more than 2 minutes, there will be a resistance in opening the survey. But if you say that this only takes less than 2 minutes for you to fill out, and make sure that it is less than 2 minutes, if you can time it, the words, etc., then it will be a good experience for those who will take the survey. Now, the focus group discussion will need to be able to validate the qualitative answers of the training needs analysis survey. It's a general question, because for me to be able to give you the usual question, you need to give me a specific topic for focus group discussion, because the focus group discussion questions are anchored already on the topic. I hope that answers your question. It's a general technical competence. Okay, what about technical competence? What do you want to know about technical competence? Is this IT, software, hardware? It depends on the job role. It depends on the job role. It depends on the functional technical competence that you have identified for someone. In the medical field, of course, these are your diagnosis, technical and functional uh, critical thinking, diagnosing skills, the questions that you have when you ask a patient, right? Their medical history, the laboratories, etc. So that's an example for the medical field because you're a doctor, and it's easy to answer that way for the technical competence. So technical competence depends on the industry that you're in, depends on your job role, depends on who we are transforming. I hope I was able to answer your question, Burns, for both.
Yes, ma'am. Do we have any other question from the Facebook? We don't have any question about the learning. They just have question for e-certificate. How about po dito sa atin sa Zoom? We have 60 participants here. Do we have any other question po before po tayo? What websites, YouTube? Ma'am, you mentioned a while. Okay. Isayin ko muna po. Unahin natin si Sir Adrian. Siyempre, kasama ko sa sa CHRP at saka sa CP. Sa HR Business Partner and Learning Series. What website, YouTube channel, or book you would recommend for learning and development specialists?
I have a lot of books that I read, and mostly these are psychological books, self-help. For learning and development, Bloom's taxonomy is one, but these are the technical ones. NLP is also good, neuro-linguistic programming, because with NLP, when you say you start with the end goal in mind, that's Stephen Covey, right? So NLP also practice that, and NLP also has accelerated learning. T. Harv Eker is one of a good coach when it comes to train the trainer. T. Harv Eker. His train the trainer is very expensive though, in dollars. Very, very good. Mostly based on marketing. He likes marketing and that's what he teaches. But he also has a good train the trainer program in dollars. International. It's something that we want to replicate and I want to bring to the Philippines for Leading with Success. A lot of train the trainer programs. And so contact me for Leading with Success and maybe we can do a train the trainer program for you, for the company. I can collaborate with Medi and my team to see how we can price this.
And of course, syempre, dahil na nagbigay na naman, di ba every year, lagi natin kasama si Ma'am Bonnie, talaga namang hindi niya hinihindian ng HR Calabarzon. Kagaya nga sinabi ni Doc kanina, the group focus on all the aspect na kailangan ng mga ka-HR natin. That's why HR Calabarzon through Philippine HR Group was founded. Kasi talagang ang gusto ng Philippine HR Group at saka ng HR Calabarzon ay maidala o mailapit sa mga ka-HR natin in Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, and Quezon ang mga learnings na meron sa NCR. And of course because of that, syempre nga, HR Calabarzon would like to present this certificate of appreciation to Ma'am Bonnie Factor for sharing her invaluable knowledge and expertise as a resource speaker and mentor for the 53rd HRE Knowledge entitled How to be Successful in Learning and Development. Kaya talagang kailangan ko yan, ma'am. Talagang meron pa akong mga nadagdag na natutunan this afternoon via Zoom and Facebook Live given this 30th day of April 2022, signed by our co-founder Jorina Caparal and yours truly, Nedia Estrella, founder. Right from here sa kung napapansin nyo ang aking background, di ba? Pinakita ko talagang aking background. Ako po ay nasa Valeriano E. Fugoso Memorial School, Boys Town. Ayan, dito po ako graduate ng high school. At syempre, alam niyo naman tayo mga HR, talaga naman tayong multitasking. Anyway, sa lahat na nagtatanong, paano po ba makakakuha ng e-certificate? Ang e-certificate po ay ipapadala namin 7 working days mula po ngayong araw na to, hindi po kasama ang Sabado at Linggo, pati po ang holiday, after you pay the minimal fee of 50 pesos per webinar for attendee through GCash na ipopost po ulit natin at pagka-fill up niyo po ng ating Google Form attendance. Please ensure that the Google form is complete and accurately filled up with the following information, such as your full name, first name, middle initial, and last name only. Email address, please paki-validate po para po hindi nagba-bounce back at hindi po kayo naiinip sa inyong e-certificate. Please fill up the reference number and attach the proof of payment. The link are posted in FB Live section, na comment section natin doon, tsaka sa chat box. Payment will be we will be accepting payment until Wednesday. The Google form will be closed on Thursday. Muli po ang ating GCash number is 0919-009-6339. By the way, Ma'am Bonnie, possible po ba na makapag-post po tayo o makapag-flash tayo sa screen ng ating contact details kung paano po kayo magkakaroon ng communication ng ating mga participant this afternoon, kung paano po kayo mako-contact through LinkedIn, Facebook, email, or any other source po na pwede po namin kayong makontak. Thank you, Sir Adrian. Talaga naman po ang HR Calabarzon ay walang kakupas-kupas sa pagbibigay ng learning para sa ating mga ka-HR sa Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, Quezon, and NCR. Take note po, ulitin ko po, nasa Valeriano E. Fugoso Memorial High School po ako ngayon at we are ongoing at mag-uumpisa po ang aming Grand Alumni Homecoming. O, diba? Pak na pak po ang pagiging HR ko. Talagang multitasking ako ngayon, Ma'am Bonnie.
Taas ng energy.
Yes, ma'am. Naka-live pa rin ako mamaya via Zoom para sa ating mga ka-batchmate na hindi makakarating due to pandemic pa rin. Yes, ma'am. Paano po namin kayo makakontakt, ma'am? Can you share po? Sana?
Oh, guys, you can just look for me on all social media platforms. Bonnie Factor. Just search my name. You'll find me there. And you can just send me a message for anything. Bonnie Factor on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I have a TikTok pero I changed my TikTok muna.
Nagkaroon ng concern, ma'am, sa TikTok natin, di po ba? Naging masyadong demand si ma'am ngayon sa TikTok. Anyway, guys, sabi nga ni Doktora, yes, I am a very, very multitasking person na HR. Talagang tinatakbo ko po kanina kaya medyo late po kami ni Ma'am Bonnie dahil late po ako. Nakarating dito po sa venue sa Valeriano E. Fugoso Memorial School, Boys Town. Ayan po, may Grand Alumni Homecoming po kami tonight at 5 p.m. But anyway po, muli po mga ka-HR, isang magandang hapon na natutunan na naman natin ang another learnings from Ma'am Bonnie. And of course, Ma'am Bonnie, thank you so much. Ihingin ko po sana ang lahat, can we please video on para sa ating mandatory picture taking. Di ba nawawalan na ako ng boses dahil sa aking energy na alive na alive. Ayan, nakikita ko ang naggagandahan nating mga ka-HR dyan. Sa mga kasamahan ko po sa HR, nakakatuwa pong nakasama ko. Ay, hi Kat! Hindi ko alam na nakandito ka. Hi Kat! Sorry I wasn't there because nandito po ako sa Marikina with my classmate nung high school. O, diba? Hi Adrian, see you on Saturday for another HR business partner. Anyway po guys, imbitahan ko po kayo ang event po natin this coming next Saturday, HR Business Partner Learning Series regarding pay structure and job evaluation will be open to everyone. Pero sorry po, may charge lang po siya, 150 per participant, and our room ay good for 100 person only. We will post po sa any details na kailangan po. Anyway po, dahil medyo nakita nyo naman, Kat, kaya mo ba akong tulungan mag-picture taking? Okay. Pa-hold lang po. Pa-smile po. We have 2 slides. Actually, 2 slide lang naman. Okay, let's smile. Oy, di ba may kamay doon kay ma'am? Natuwa naman ako doon sa kamay. May kamay na nagtaas. Ayan. Wait lang po for another slide. Okay. Ay, 3 slide pala to. Sorry na, akala ko 2 slide lang. Smile po.
Okay
Smile
na
for
po.
the second slide. And third slide. Smile po. Di ba?
Smile po.
Ayan. Okay. Muli po, ang HR Calabarzon ay nagpapasalamat ng sobra-sobra. Alam kong sobrang busy talaga si Ma'am Bonnie. Kay Ma'am Bonnie, Ma'am, I will share the e-certificate for you. Siguro, dami mo nang naipon from HR Calabarzon. And sa mga kaibigan ko dyan, mga ka-HR natin dyan, na if we need something or we gusto nating makuha ang service ni Ma'am Bonnie, you could directly contact her through LinkedIn or through HR Calabarzon. Iko-connect ko po kayo kay Ma'am Bonnie. Talaga namang napaka-assisting po niya. At kahit medyo limited yung time and schedule, talagang bibigyan niya po tayo ng time for that. Pero syempre, pag HR, hindi na po sa HR Calabarzon, may konting charge po tayo dyan. Pero definitely, yung charge po na ibibigay ni Ma'am Bonnie is worth naman po. Talaga namang marami tayong matututunan. Kita niyo na po, isang slide lang, ang dami nating natutunan. At talagang makakadagdag sa amin yan dito sa HR Calabarzon. Do we have any question pa po kaya? Wala na po kayang question? Ma'am Bonnie, any message?
Thank you everyone for listening to the talk today. And that's it for me. You can send me a message naman anytime.
Muli po mga ka-HR, maraming salamat sa pag-attend sa ating 53rd HR e-Knowledge. Magkita-kita po tayo next week for another HR Business Partner Learning Series, module or course number 4 na open for all participants. Dahil po ang ating topic ay salary structure and job evaluation. See you mga ka-HR. You will receive the e-certificate through email. Basta po makapag-fill up po kayo ng attendance po natin today. Muli mga ka-HR, maraming salamat at magandang hapon po. In behalf of HR Calabarzon, co-founders and board of directors, thank you for every afternoon na kasama namin kayo. Ma'am Bonnie, thank you po. Sir Elton, Dr. Elton, thank you po. Thank you, Adrian. Bye po sa lahat. Magandang hapon. Thank you po.
Bye.
Bye, HR. Bye, Ma'am Bonnie. Thank you.
Bye. Leaving. Bye, guys.